A Question of Murder, a Murder, She Wrote mystery, a novel by Jessica Fletcher and Donald Bain, read by Cynthia Darlow.
Chapter 1. The girl was young and pretty. The large yellow sunflowers on the mid-calf length white dress she wore perfectly matched her blonde hair and seemingly sunny disposition. Her smile was wide and genuine. There was a sweetness about her that was palpable. The young man named Paul, standing next to her, was not so sanguine. He was of medium height and wore a brooding expression along with his khaki slacks, two-tone boat shoes, and pale blue button-down shirt. A maroon cardigan tied loosely around his neck and draped down his back completed his preppy wardrobe. He was handsome in a rough sort of way. By that I mean there was a thickness to his facial features that contributed to what seemed like a perpetual frown. He lacked interest in the others in the drawing-room, with the single exception, of course, of the young woman, whose name was Cynthia. With the young couple were an older man wearing a purple silk smoking jacket and a patrician woman in knee-high riding boots, wide-hipped tan jodhpurs, and a white silk blouse. "Feel like taking a walk?" Paul asked Cynthia in a voice that carried to the others. Softly he added, "Let's get out of here." He ducked his head down, gave her a quick kiss on the neck, and stroked her arm, gliding his hand from her shoulder down to her fingers. Cynthia shivered and took a step forward. "What a grand idea," she said, turning to the older couple. "I certainly could use a walk. I hear there's a full moon." "You won't see any moon," declared the older man, whose name was Monroe Whitaker. "Not with the fog out there off the lake. Besides, there's still snow on the ground and more in the forecast." His tone was that of a bored chairman used to making statements that no one would dare challenge. "That's okay, Daddy," Cynthia said, plucking at the collar of her dress. "It's so warm in here with the fire going, I really need some fresh air. I'm sure Paul does, too. Besides, you always say a walk after dinner is good for your digestion. Isn't that how you put it?" His ruddy, full face set in stone, her father said nothing. Victoria Whitaker addressed Paul. "We have a very busy day tomorrow with the attorneys coming. Cynthia will need a clear head. I want to be sure she gets enough rest. Make sure you don't keep her out late again." "He won't," Cynthia said, kissing her mother's cheek. They put on outdoor jackets, and she wrapped a red and green tartan scarf around her neck. Smiling at Paul, she grabbed his hand and led him through the French doors into the garden, her voice trailing back into the room. "Let's look for that moon anyway."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?